All right, y'all. 18.5, which was also 11.6, which was even further also 12.5. So this is one of those open workouts that's been repeated not only once, but actually got repeated twice. And so we're going to do it. Back in the day, it was a very common thing. It was just like a known, we could feel it coming that thrusters would be in the last week of the open. And so for us, they are coming in the last week of our open retests. So they're there. Thrusters are there. And gentlemen, I just got to tell you right now, for whatever reason, and back in 2011, instead of 95 being all the rage as the load on the barbell for thrusters, it was 100 that was more common. And so that part of the workout has stayed. Makes no sense not to change it. Would make no sense to change it. And so we still have 100, while ladies, you still have your normal Fran weight of 65 pounds. That's the RX version of the weight today. But for you gentlemen, ladies, you can plug your ears for a second. I just want you to know that 95 and 100 seem like a sort of an arbitrary difference, but with the volume we have planned for this one, you do start to feel it. So plan for that. And just for everybody else, let's just talk about the thrusters. This is a ladder by threes, so it could get all the way up to 21. It could go higher than 21 theoretically, but I'm going to say 21 because that is a number we are familiar with from Fran. And so what we have to use today is our prior experience, our knowledge of how things feel, and understand about ourselves when it's time to break up the thrusters. And also, it shouldn't be, use that 100 and the 65 as your guide, but by no means is this thruster intended to be ultra heavy for you. So you need to pick a weight that we would consider either light or moderate, that you could probably go unbroken at least through the nines, especially while fresh. So keep that in mind. But also the chest to bar pull-ups. This is a tough one because chest to bar pull-ups are always the version of pull-ups for RX that get pulled into the open. I can't think of whether or not chin over bar ever have been included, to be honest with you, outside of modified. But in any case, we want to keep the integrity of the way this WOD was written, which is that if you're either doing chest to bar or you're doing the modified version, which is jumping chin over bar. And I know that there are some people who go, well, that's too easy for me. I have pull-ups. I don't have chest to bar, so I'm just going to do the pull-ups, and that'll be just as much of a challenge. But just hear me out. Again, the integrity of the workout, the way it was written for 3 opens so far, can't possibly be wrong. But also, we did ring rows earlier in the week, kind of to prove to especially to RX people or people who are used to doing RX that some of these modified movements are not easy by any stretch, and jumping chin over bar are not either. One of my favorite workouts that's a benchmark is called the Filthy 50, and that has jumping pull-ups or jumping chin over bar pull-ups in it for everyone, for RX, and I love that workout. It's hard to program because it involves a GHD, and yet when I do that, the jumping pull-ups are one of the hardest parts because they light up the lats. And I'm telling you, you don't always get even that sensation from ring rows. So don't be too proud to do the jumping chin over bar today if you don't have trustworthy chest to bar. I would like for as many people as possible to do that. And especially not a good day to do bands because the transition time in and out of the bands undermines your ability to do the real star of the show, which is get back to the thrusters. So if it seems like, hey, I'm just going to get through those jumping chin over bar too quickly, A, you might be wrong about that. And B, I want it to be quick because I want you to get back to the thrusters and get as many of those as possible. This is an open workout and it is only 7 minutes. All right. So that's the thing that's challenging about this WOD. 7 minutes. There's really nowhere to you don't have you cannot afford to stand around breathing hard today. You have to embrace the suck today, go to a little bit of a dark place, rest as necessary, but only for 10 seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds, and get right back on the thing. If you have chest to bar pull-ups, today is a day where singles make a lot of sense. Likewise, if you're pretty good at chest to bar, knowing when it's time to start breaking them up is important as well. Don't want to find out it's time to start breaking them up because I went to failure by accident. That's tough. But as someone who's done this workout multiple times, I can say singles are an absolutely okay way to do this workout, right? Especially if it's going to help during the open. Okay, so this is one of those days where I did not just get done doing the WOD, but I have done it in the open multiple times, and so I felt like I had the authority to talk on it, but that's okay. So I'll be right there with you guys doing this one tomorrow, hopefully PRing, and for those of you out there who have done this one before, I hope you do too. But don't, let's not hold ourselves to any type of expectation. Let's just use our 7 minutes to get fit and then enjoy our weekend. See you guys.